Down, down, the wages are down at Coles. The prices aren't the only thing that are apparently down, down at Coles. So apparently are the wages. It seems our beloved neighbourhood supermarket giant Coles has been facing some mounting scrutiny over the last couple of weeks due to workplace and consumer controversies that many are saying point to systemic misconduct. Lantern interviewed local workers of the northern suburbs of Melbourne. We went to their Coles and we interviewed a couple workers. We're going to leave their names anonymous, obviously, because we know how these companies act. But one worker states, central to the issue is the carton rate model and aggressive KPI culture, which has driven understaffing problems, excessive workloads, and widespread burnout. Employees also report being pushed to meet unrealistic performance targets while receiving pay outcomes allegedly shaped by the enterprise agreements negotiated with the infamous SDA union, which critics have suppressed wages by much as 30% compared to award conditions. At the same time, allegations persist that Coles has attempted to sidestep scrutiny from the equally corporate-focused United Workers Union, which is one of the biggest unions in this country. There was a consistent reporting pattern of internal culture complaints, such as bullying, racism, and a lack of support from upper management. The company's legal troubles intensified following the landmark 5th of September ruling in the federal court, which had actually found Coles systemically underpaid thousands of salary managers. The court rejected the company's use of set-off practices, where higher pay in one period was used to then offset payments in another, establishing that minimum entitlements must be met in every pay cycle. Justice Naiparan labelled Coles' record-keeping failures a calamity, triggering a reverse onus of proof that faces the company to disprove their underpayments claim. The Fair Work Ombudsman alleges that more than $108 million remains outstanding to over 7,800 workers, far exceeding the $20 million initially set aside annually by Coles to suppress this type of issue. Additionally, breaches have included underpayment of long service leave entitlements, affecting thousands of Victorian employees, as well as ongoing class actions, such as the Pabian versus Coles case led by Adiro Law. Adiro Law also being the company that takes up the grilled case, if you're familiar with that. Beyond wages, Coles is also under fire for its pricing practices and contractor relationships. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission has launched proceedings accusing the retailer of misleading consumers through their down promotions. The findings suggest that Coles allegedly inflated prices before applying artificial, superficial discounts, thus lowering their prices. A separate class action claims that shoppers were deceived by these pricing tactics between the years of 2022 and 2023. Meanwhile, Coles has been criticised for maintaining ties with the controversial contracting service MA, despite their very publicly and well-known allegations of worker exploitation and tax evasion. Safety failures have compounded the pressure, with courts awarding significant damages in cases involving inadequate training, unsafe equipment, and ignored workplace hazards, with total remediation, penalties, and legal exposure potentially exceeding hundreds of millions and possibly contributing to a combined $1 billion liability across the entire sector. Coles now faces one of the most significant corporate accountability crises in modern Australia. And unfortunately, you know who faces the brunt of Coles' actions, or should I say misactions? The worker and the consumer. It doesn't matter that Coles makes $1 billion in profit each year and the executives rake in bonuses far exceeding numbers we'll ever see. They will also choose to use underhanded and sneaky tactics to profit off on the backs of the very people they depend on. You can boycott, you can try and stop consuming, but at the end of the day, the consumer in this country has no choice but to either go to Coles or Woolworths or potentially an IGA. There's no competition in this country. We need anti monopoly laws, and we need a proper breakup of the two supermarket giants if we're ever going to have any sort of retail competition in this country. What we see now is just the greed of what comes with the monopolization of a business or a sector or even an industry. So I don't blame Coles. This is just what happens when monopolies rise. Until next time, Gabe with the Lantern. Thank you.